I'm trying to end fights quickly, as fast as I can. I'll enjoy a good war every once in a while. Like I'll love a rematch Dorian. See if it goes a couple rounds. Still going to try to knock him out. But after that, I'm trying to collect checks. I ain't gonna lie to you. I'm trying to get free money. That's one hit and done. That is the new motto. New me. I'm telling you. After this new rule change, I, I'm getting knockout first round.
Welcome to the most overrated, underappreciated, most viewed, underviewed podcast of all time. Welcome to the Prince of Fresh Air. I'm, of course, your host, the beloved, the most charismatic man entertainment. When we are back, we are live. And, I'm looking forward to this conversation. He needs no introduction. He's been a regular on this podcast. I'm thankful for his time. But, I don't need a list of accolades, but I'm going to do it anyway because he deserves it. So he is 8-1, 6 KOs, 100,000 days as heavyweight champion. His last defense was Power Slap 14 against Wes the Boom Mena in New Orleans, Louisiana. He's finally making his long-awaited return. Everybody's been asking about when he's coming back. He's officially coming back. We have the date. Power Slap 19 against Darius the Destroyer, Varona in Las Vegas, Nevada, in April 19th. It has been too long since the heavyweight champ is back, but he is back. The lineal man is here, and I'm looking forward to introducing Damien Dibbell. Welcome back.
Thank you, man. Thank you. I appreciate it. You didn't have to go into all the accolades, but I appreciate you giving a little context, a little exposition, if you will, about who I am and what I've done. But, always good to talk to you and get back to it.
Absolutely, man. If someone see you walking in the supermarket, don't try them. All right. So, you know what I'm saying?
Be careful.
So, Dame, let's get into this. Like I said, long way to return. I know I've DM'd you about it when you coming back. A lot of comments were asking when you coming back. Before we get into that question, I want to ask you because last time we talked, you was finding out of Ruskin, Florida. Now you're up in my neck of the woods, New York. How's the new transition?
I'll be honest, it was rough first getting up here. Y'all got a lot more car emission rules. I got a nice little Mustang going on, so I had to deal with all that and snow. Got to get equipment for snow, so that got a little annoying. But we persevered, we got through it, and coming out better than ever. Been working my ass off, and honestly really enjoying the area. Been meeting great people and really had no complaints about it other than it's cold as shit. That's about it.
A lot different from Florida.
Yeah. Other side of the spectrum.
Amen to that. That's right. Do you miss Florida?
Hell no.
No,
not at all.
Interesting.
I don't miss most of the people there. I don't miss the weather, not at all. I don't miss the gas prices. My insurance went down like $150 as soon as I moved up here. Like, come on, bro.
Yeah.
I'm done. I was done with Florida. Honestly, the one place I'll always miss, Southern California, man. If it wasn't for their taxes and age, like all the wages that are going on over there, the weather was beautiful.
Man, I miss California all the time. I miss LA. I love New York City is my home, and I prefer New York over LA for a couple different reasons. But yeah, the weather. If you've never been out there, it's unbeatable.
Yeah, literally, you can't compare. Just can't. No, winter doesn't exist. AC, don't need that. Just open a window. You're fine. Bro, I remember moving down to Florida. I was like, AC, of course we didn't need that. Just open a window. You're fine. Nah.
Not in Florida.
Whole different vibe.
We're gonna have an alligator crawling through the window. All right. Yeah, Florida is a different beast, but let's get into this. Your last defense, last time we talked, you had a successful defense against Wes, the Boom Mena,
Yep.
Power Slap 14. you won that in dominant fashion, like most suspected. But going to that, how did you feel? How did you feel about getting the win?
Honestly, kind of just came as expected. I mean, looking at my previous matches, looking at Wes's previous matches, I'm not saying I'm being over cocky. I prepare for every opponent like they're my last, but going into that one, I expected the first clean hit that connected, that was going to drop him. And would you look at that? The first clean hit that connected dropped hard as shit. I like to say the West took a boom boom in his pants after that fight because he was done.
No,
Bro was toast.
that, that was rough. I, you know, no, I can't.
He said,
I
I can't
interview.
even go there right
Yeah,
now.
I can't. I don't want to come off as biased, but it was definitely a dominant win. It was a lot quicker than I'm sure some people thought. Not by you, Dana, some of your fans thought, but it was a good win. Let me ask you though. You got the win, and most of us, me included, thought you'd be back quick turnaround,
Yeah.
in and out. What was the layoff been like for you? Were you shocked that it took this long for you to come back?
I was genuinely shocked. Like I have been advocating for it. I called Dorian out immediately after I won. Like literally called him out. I was been asking for the rematch. After he beat Zakir, I immediately messaged Frank like, "Hey, you gonna give me the fight?" He's like, "Bro, I haven't even left the event yet. Like I'm still at the venue. Give me a minute." But I've been asking for that rematch. Didn't want to give it to me. They threw me Darius. You know me. I don't care as long as I'm fighting. At the end of the day, I want my rematch. I want certain fights, but they know I'm not picky. They give me contracts. I sign contracts and give them knockouts. Like that's the deal we got. So it it sucked, but I mean there wasn't anyone else really. I mean there's a couple guys that were looking to get it, but they just didn't show out like they needed to. And I mean that's as far as I have been told, Frank has been telling me that he's just waiting for more guys that look ready for a championship fight. My problem is that I look so good up there fighting all their top guys that any guy they want to bring up, they're like, but can he though? Like,
Yeah.
I know he did well against him, but he got shit on by Damien. So, like, can he do? Does that still translate? Like, people could, for example, me versus Darius. I fought Wes. He fought Wes.
Right.
I took one hit to knock him out. He went to decision against Wes and almost got knocked out by Wes. So it's
Yeah.
like, yeah, Wes could have improved since I fought him, but how much will that reflect on Darius's performance going up against a crazy match with me, knowing he's going to get hit second too? That mental aspect.
Yeah. Now, last time we talked, Power Slap 14, if I'm not mistaken, was the kickoff for the uh, Power Slaps partnership with YouTube. They left the previous platform and going
Yep.
YouTube. How do you feel about the change after now competing and seeing the sport grow? What are your thoughts on the move so far?
So far, I've been super happy with it. I feel like we've been growing very quickly. I mean, I got to headline the first event outside of Vegas, but still within the U.S. So the first one of us traveling the country and got to meet a lot of people out there, make a lot of new fans, and really spread the sport around. They received us very well. Everyone was loving the sport while we were down there. So I feel like it was a good opportunity to really spread the sport and our faces out to the public. And I'm hoping that we get to continue traveling. This one, I'll admit it, wasn't planned to be in Vegas originally. This was also supposed to happen already, but things happen, things don't work out. So I'm just glad to be still getting my fight. I
Yeah.
know it ain't main event, but you can't be main event every event. So, I'll take the back seat for a little while. I'll let the big boys have their, time in the sun and then hope to be back again after I knock them out.
You know what? I was gonna save all of the all the questions for that about that later, but I want to ask you about that because I was confused. I thought you've main evented multiple times now, over 1,000 days as champion, heavyweight champion. I thought it was just a foregone conclusion you were going to be the main event. I think a lot of people, I saw the comments on Instagram. I think it was Slap News that announced it. A lot of people were suspecting you the main event. Shout out to the Hawaiian Hitman. I know he's main event in super heavyweight division with the title on the line. Were you
Yeah.
shocked that you were co-main instead of main event?
I don't think I was really shocked by it, just because I kind of figured the suit. It's really a weight class thing. Like if the super heavyweights are fighting, they're heavier weights, they main event. So it usually goes by weight class from what I've seen, like the heaviest championship fight. That's why Rob is a big name. He's crazy good at the sport, but you don't really see him main event as often. Half because he doesn't have people that are willing to, fight the dude,
Yeah.
like at his level to actually have an event. But then the other half of he's in the lightest weight class. If there's any other championship fight, he's usually underneath that event. So that's where it kind of comes in. It's just a weight class thing. I'm lucky I'm at heavyweight, so usually I'm the heaviest person on the card for a
Right.
championship. So it just turns out that I'm main eventing a lot.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it was shocking, but you know what? I think, like you said, I think a lot of things changed, especially with the Paramount era with the UFC. So I'm sure there's some changes going on. But before we get into that, let's talk about the elephant in the room. Before we get to your opponent that you're going to be defending against, Darius, a lot of people, I saw the comments and I saw you responding to people on Instagram. A lot of people thought it would be Darius again. A lot of people thought he was the Dorian. Excuse me.
Yeah.
Everybody thought it was Dorian Perez, not Darius, your next opponent. But a lot of people thought it would be the rematch. Were you shocked that you got Darius instead of Dorian?
Oh yeah. I was definitely confused, and I had a conversation with them, and they just like the story better. It makes more sense. It's more marketable. You have the old champ versus the new champ. The kind of the reversal of situations where I was coming up and he held the belt, and now he's coming up and I hold the belt, and we have a longer history. I mean, we've known each other longer than Power Set has been a sport. Like I was
Oh,
actually a fan of his, and watching his matches is what got me into the sport to begin with. So it's actually the third legend that I've fought that I used to be a fan of. Don't let me be your fan, because apparently we fighting. Like apparently I fight all my heroes. Because I loved Frank the Tank. I fought him twice. Love Ron. Fought
yeah,
him. I was a big fan of Darius when the sport first came out, and like early days, like early days when it was in bars and shit in America. Like that's when I was a fan of Darius. So it was kind of sad seeing his come up be so rough. But like now the tides have changed. Now I'm at the top. He's the one
yeah.
trying to fight me for the belt. So it's just putting respect where respect is due, but still knowing what I'm about and having the confidence to go out there and do my thing.
Yeah. So, Power Stop 19 going down very soon in Las Vegas. Before we address the your new matchup, your new title defense, the long layoff, just to go back a little bit, what was the time like for you? You mentioned you moved to New York, you had that transition, but what was the time off like for you? Were you able to, especially in a new environment, change your training, maybe work on some new things? What was the time off like for you?
Oh, it was great. I still was being active in other aspects. I've been really putting on weight, working out a crazy amount, too much. I don't honestly be in the gym all the fucking time. I realized I was looking back on the last couple of months. I was like, I've seen nothing of this state. I've only been at the gym. Like that's all I do. And then I go see my homeboy, Dwayne Crespo. He lives in Hornell, like right there. So I see him. We go have lunch, and then we go train. And then when we're hanging out, we're talking about training. Like my whole life has kind of just been getting bigger, getting stronger, getting ready for my next fight. So I still took. I think I went to it was Vancouver. I did a little card convention with Slap News. They brought me out. Love Corey for doing that. Great opportunity to reconnect with more people and show off the sport a bit more to a different audience that may not know about it. I mean,
Right.
we weren't big in Canada originally, so it was a nice opportunity to really share that and then advertise our cards, the trading cards that we have. So it was relevant to be like, yeah, that's me right there on that card. Like
Yeah.
you literally put the person to the card that you're seeing right there. So that was cool. Been getting into more MMA boxing training as much as I can. Just really doing different aspects and like focusing on building my life up here and getting myself situated.
Yeah. Now, I think it's always important for people to know some of the in and outs of an athlete. So before we get into the matchup, I want to ask you one more thing on this. 1,000+ days as heavyweight champion. If I'm not mistaken, you are the longest reigning power slap champion in history so far. What does that achievement mean to you? Because it seems to me, I've seen, I started watching power slap a couple years ago, and it seems like you're finally getting the credit. And maybe it's the move to YouTube, or maybe it's just credit to Slap News because I see a lot of stuff that they do. But it seems like you're finally starting to get that recognition, that appreciation, the champion. But tell me, how does it feel to be the longest reigning champion in power slap history, and how has the sport means to you? Because like I said, it seems like you're getting recognition. I'm seeing you doing videos with influencers. You're getting opportunities to do things maybe 3 years ago you weren't getting. So how's this all been for you?
Honestly, it's been a crazy journey, but for the whole being champion aspect, I feel like I've been champion for so long. It's just kind of become part of my personality in the sport. It's just like, oh yeah, that's Damien. He's heavyweight champ. He does his thing. We don't worry about him because I just be chilling, doing my own thing. I'm not the super social guy. My social media reflects it. I'm not always posting. I'm not really doing what I should be doing
Yeah.
according to a lot of people. But I always take it as I'm true to myself. I mind my business. I hang out, watch anime, work out. That's my life. Being champ is just something that comes up every time I fight, and it's just that aspect of me in that week of fight camp and doing all that stuff. But every other time, it's just another day in the life. Like it's just working towards something, and I don't want that to be my end goal. I feel so young and able to do other things that I'm not letting it stop me from being better and trying to chase further goals.
Yeah. No, you say you like anime. Are you? I'm not gonna lie, I'm not too well versed in it, but did you watch Dragon Ball Z and stuff growing up, or?
Oh yeah, you, bruh, bruh. You know I watched Dragon Ball Z growing up. I watched
Hey,
all of Dragon Ball Z growing up, bruh.
what
Classic.
kind of what kind of anime you watch now though?
I, a lot. There's been a lot of good shit that's come out recently. I'll be
Yeah.
honest, but season two of one of my favorite animes. Hold on, actually, my wife. This is a flex for my wife. She took my favorite anime and sewed it onto the back of my jacket. This
Wow.
used to be a backpack, but yeah, she took the whole thing and like sewed it back onto this jacket. I was like, damn, create.
That's
I
solid.
could never.
Yeah,
I,
that's
I
solid.
ain't creative enough or putting all that effort into it. But yeah, she does stuff like that. But Yojo Senki season two, 10 years after season one came out, finally coming out with a new one. Thank God. But just normal stuff. JJK, Jujutsu Kaisen, because probably don't know about that one, but that was fire as well. Just random ones here and there. I don't want to
Are we?
expose myself too much because anime fans be fucking. You say you like one thing or hate another, they'll jump down your fucking
Yeah,
throat. Actually,
yeah.
here's one. Here's one that I'll say with a passion. I'll never watch One Piece. Y'all got me fucked up. There's no way. I
Uh,
I grew up with Dragon Ball Z. I ain't starting One Piece. You got me fucked up. 1,000 episodes? Nah, I got
I,
things to do, brother.
you know, you sure you don't want me to cut that out? Because I know
Nah,
some
you
some One
leave
Piece
that in.
fans.
They need to know, bro. They need to know because every time I talk about liking anime, someone's like, "Oh, so you watch one?" No, I don't, and I hate it. I'm not doing it.
Ooh,
I tried. I got to episode like 100 and something. I tried. I gave it an effort. Nah, can't do it.
you know
Not worth
what?
the time.
I gotta say, I mean, you had a decent layoff, but after Power Slap 19, you might have a whole list
Hey,
of
I might
people.
have some ops. I might have some ops after this. It's okay.
You're
They
gonna be
need
like,
to
oh,
know.
you're gonna be like Offset out here.
Flipping off the crowd, talking shit.
I don't know, man. Let me ask you this, because I know about Juju Kaisen and One Piece, because I've met a lot of people into anime. Have you ever thought of doing one of the conventions?
Oh, for sure. I love to do a convention. There was a big convention down in Orlando that I wanted to do, but I never got to do it before we moved. It's probably like one of the only reasons. Or like one of the big Comic Cons. I'd love to do that too, because I'm a big Marvel fan. I used to be really big into comic books. That was a whole era of my life too.
Yeah.
Especially like Deadpool comics. There's a good variety of them that are really fucking funny. Like, you got some goofy comics with Deadpool in it.
Man, I'm a DC guy through and through. I think
What?
Marvel does better movies. I gotta be
DC
honest.
does fire animated movies.
They
That
do.
is the only thing y'all
Yeah.
got. I
Yeah.
don't know why, but y'all hire the worst fucking directors. Y'all cannot
I,
film a live action to save your life.
I can't. I'm speechless. I can't argue it. I Here's the thing. All right, I'll say this real quick, because this is about you, not me. But I'll say this real quick. I think, and I've spoken about this at length. I think DC, they had such great animated movies that was their lane. Marvel started dominating, and then they tried to play catch up. The problem was Marvel already had they was like Usain Bolt. So by the time DC got into the game to do the live action movies, they was already fighting a hard battle, because Marvel had the game on lockdown. So I think they was just rushing to make movies opposed to putting out good quality. I think it took into. I think Zack Snyder was probably the best director so far up until now. Now that they have James Gunn, but I think
Yeah.
they just been so much just trying to compete with Marvel that the quality hasn't been there. But I don't know. I saw Superman with James Gunn.
Yeah.
It
It's
was a little
better.
too goofy, but
It had a nice twist to it. I'll be honest, I have never been able to sit through a Superman movie. Them things are boring, brother. Batman,
uh,
though, Batman with Heath Ledger as Joker, that was good shit. But Heath Ledger fucking carried those movies. Let's be
uh,
real here.
yeah, no,
He was
you're
just
not going to
the
get no
best
argument from me.
Joker ever. Like,
Yeah,
but
I, I think. See, I would say Man of Steel is probably my favorite Superman movie. The action sequence, it's a
it
little
did have
slow
a
at
good
times.
fight scene, but yeah, the story was boring as usual with Superman, but the fight scene in that one was all right. It it was better.
I
I
mean,
mean, it don't
you
you
know,
know I don't know, man. Even Iron Man, like the first one, beats out most of those movies by itself. I mean, but Iron Man was a goated movie. But that's what I'm saying. Like the first Iron Man movie already took the cake with most of those. Like,
and that's the problem. Because if you look at it this way, I'll keep this short. But if you look at it this way, DC, if you look outside the movies, because everybody always says, "Oh well, Iron Man is big," but that's because of the movies. If you look at character to character, DC clears most Marvel outside of like Wolverine, like Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman, The Flash, Martian Manhunter. List goes on. Those are much more famous characters than most of the characters we love now. Captain America, Thor, Iron Man, even Gamora. Those. I just think Marvel found their recipe. They got lazy, as we've seen with Doctor
yeah,
Strange, Madness, whatever universe, and some of the other movies they did. But I think DC, if they just stop trying to compete and focus, they make, because Superman alone, they can make so much money off of Superman, but they just anyway, I go on a tangent about that.
we about to have a whole like comic book argument.
Yeah, this is an interview. We talking about who's better, Marvel, DC. Real quick though, you should go to the Comic Con in New York City, bro. They make it's so crazy. So many good people go out there. I met one guy. He spent $50,000 on his Batman costume. 50,000. I don't know how he
Shit.
got the money. because he wasn't much older than us, but he came out there decked out. I was like, ooh.
Must be
So,
nice.
yeah.
Shit.
I mean, you champ now. You come on, man. You gotta show up.
Oh hell no. The, bro, I'll make a suit out of my belts. That's the most you got out of me. Just see me strapped up, just belt, like all strapped and shit. Just use duct tape and fucking tight them shits down. Perfect
Yeah,
zombie, like a zombie apocalypse. I'm good to go. I already got my set of armor. I just got to tape them belts on me. I'm good.
I'm just hey, just think about it. Just think about it. All right,
I'll consider it. I'll consider it. I'll think
all
about
right. let's get back on track
it.
because
Yeah,
what's about you?
back to slapping people.
Yeah,
Yup.
yeah. Back to
The main
work. All right.
conversation. Yup.
The champ, like I said, long way to return. Thousand thousand days as champion, longest reigning power slap champion. Now you come back, Las Vegas, April 19th at Power Slap 19, and you find Darius the Destroyer. Now Darius, I'm a fan of. I've seen a lot of his work before, the YouTube move and before it really blew up. So he's a good opponent. I know he's had a couple setbacks, but what do you think about Darius as an opponent?
So like just how the fight is gonna go. Like, see, I feel like there's two contexts that I see my opponents in versus me and versus everybody else.
Fair.
So like versus everybody else, I feel like Darius is easily top three right now, especially on the run he's been having. I feel like if he really locks in, he could handle most of the people that are in the top of the division. The only person that I feel like he'd have a hard time against would be someone like Dorian, who went toe to toe with me. So I feel like that's where it's at. But as far as his chin, I feel like it doesn't hold up as well as Dorian did. And I'm skeptical seeing as Ron knocked him out. And then I immediately beat Ron, like the next event after that. And Wes stumbled him. I
Right.
mean, his chin is in question, and that's not a question you want to have when fighting me. Like the reason Dorian is such a competitor against me is because he has such a crazy chin. He could stand there and go 5 rounds with me. That's the shit I enjoy. Darius, we don't know. I feel like it's not going to be there. Power, power fluctuates between events. You could have great power, but it don't matter if you're asleep on the canvas. Like it, especially knowing that you're going second. You got to take the first hit. You're going to be a little dazed, a little. It's the first hit. You're probably not going to be okay getting hit for the first time against me when your last opponent was Wes, who, let's be real here, probably has what, maybe rank five, rank six power out of the heavyweight competitors we have right now. Like, I wouldn't put him as the one of the hardest hitters in the sport right now. So I feel like as a competitor against me, I feel like it should be an easy win on paper.
Do you think and I mean this with all respect to Darius, because like I said, I think he's an amazing athlete, amazing competitor in the division. A lot of people have complained about, UFC who, owns Power Slap and their move to Paramount, the shift of them moving, it seems like their business practices has changed a little bit. So do you think that Darius is your opponent because of the storyline or because they feel like he can bring something to the table?
I feel like it's a combination of both, but mostly the storyline. I feel like, I mean, you also have to take into the context of when the event is. It's on WrestleMania weekend. How many
Yeah.
wrestlers do they have? How exciting are they trying to make this event really? Like, to me personally, I would have put me versus Dorian tonight because, or April 19th, because that would be a crazy fucking fight. Like, I'm talking that'd be a stellar fight because I'd finally get to knock out someone that's the one question mark on my record. I finally get to knock him out and just
Right.
cement myself as the best. But the storyline that you could sell, and wrestling is a lot about storylines and the animosity behind the scenes. So I feel like just for the storyline alone, that also put him ahead of, other competitors that could have gotten it.
Yeah. Like I said, Darius, he started off Power Slap, his journey. He started off amazingly well. He became a fan favorite with his antics, which weren't too overboard like Dorian, but his facial expressions, his demeanor, he became a fan favorite. And I know he's had a couple setbacks throughout the years as he competed. But in current form right now, do you think he is a worthy? And like I said, I know you have friends. This all respect to him, but do you think he is the worthiest contender right now for you?
No, I feel like I've been pretty adamant that Dorian is should be getting the title shot. I feel like he's the closest to beating me and still would be the closest. Whether he could keep it clean and still be that close is a whole nother question because people magically forget he clubbed me twice
Right.
before you see me club for, I think my first ever club in the sport was after the second time he clubbed me. Like, there's that aspect of the match, but feel like I've been pretty adamant Dorian is probably up there. And even then, I'd say that Zakir probably beats Darius, if we're being honest. I feel like Zakir has more power. He's gotten cleaner. And as we saw when he fought Dorian, he could take some shots. So I feel like it makes sense. I mean, in the same way that Wes made sense. It's just the next guy. At
Yeah.
a certain point, I need a fight. He's the next guy. And can't have someone that just immediately coming off of a loss, coming off of a loss against your ranked number one guy. That's where they're also messing up. Just give Dorian the fight. Like, come on, just let me rematch. Everyone else has also gotten a rematch. I want to remind people: Dakota McGregor, and Rog Fahilo, they got a
Uh-huh.
rematch. Isaiah and Brandon Bardot got 3 rematches back to back to back within the span of a couple months. How does that make any sense? How does that make sense? Crazy Hawaiian and Dumpling, that got a rematch. I mean, it was a draw, but still, they got a rematch. Where the fuck's my rematch? Why can't your boy get a rematch? See, this is the racism. Hold on, I'm joking. Don't hold on.
I'm about to tag
Let me
Dana.
not joke like that. Someone's gonna clip that out of context, and I'm gonna be
Yep.
in a world of trouble.
Dana, do you see this?
Heavyweight champion calls power slap racist. Bro, I can feel my
Well,
phone ringing right now.
yeah,
Shit.
right. Let's just end it right now. All right, no.
You said too much. We're done.
All right, so let me ask you. So, like I said, Darius, just running through his record, for people who may not be too familiar, he does have a win over a lot of formidable opponents. Ron Batta, Frank Holland, Wesley Mena. He has a great win record. But in his last six, he's lost to Ron Batter, Dorian Perez, and Ryan Phillips. But in his last three, he won against Cody. I'm not sure how to say his last name. Halfsnick, James Stonier, and then his last win was Wesley Mena in October 24th of 2025. So he clearly found some way to turn it around. 3-fight win streak. And coming in, like you said, I do think it is shocking you're not getting a Dorian Perez, but Dorian Perez rematch, but not to overlook Darius because he can always one moment of oh yeah I'm overlooking him, he could come in and steal the show, possibly. Um, Going into this title fight though, in all seriousness, I know everybody's talking about Dorian. Do you feel that though, if you don't go in 100%, that he can steal the show, or do you think that this is just a foregone conclusion for you because clearly, based off his record, he can be defeated. So it's not like you're going against an undefeated prospect here.
Yeah, it's see that's I feel like the different perspectives for a lot of people versus how I approach my matches. A lot of people seem to think like the way I'm speaking, I'd be confident over like cocky almost about like, oh, I'm this is an easy match. I already know how he what he's gonna do, how this is gonna play out. I treat every match as 0 versus 0. We're going out there for the first time. You never know what could happen. I go out 110% being myself, knowing what I can do. It doesn't matter if they put him and then I got Darius. They're like, hey, 5 minutes later, you just knocked him out. Let's go get Dorian in the back. Let's make this a 2v1. Like it doesn't matter what they throw at me. I'm ready to go the rounds, to go the distance. I prepare for every opponent like they're my last opponent. Like this could be the guy that has it my number dialed in. And I feel like that's what really pushes me to do better every match. Is I'm never I don't want this to sound like demoralizing to myself. Like I'm a confident person, but I'm confident enough to know that no matter what happens, there's always that chance. Take out as much of that percentage chance out as possible. I'm not going to let you outwork me and have that hanging over my head. Oh, you was in the gym more than me. No, I'm going to work harder than you. I'm going to try harder than you. I'm going to do everything I can that the ceiling that I'm at just keeps getting taller and taller to build that gap so that no matter what happens, I'm ready and able to handle it on that stage.
So you moved from Florida, your original place of where you was fighting out of. Now you're in New York. How's the training going for you now with the move? Is it the same thing that you were doing in Florida, or did you have to fine tune things in preparation for this fight coming up?
That's pretty much the same. I mean, I was already training at a crunch gym, so found another crunch, been training up in there. I have my own workout area, kind of like my weights and all that, like my pad and stuff like that, just in my living room at all times. Always got them ready and able whenever I want to work out real quick. So it's been the same way. I've added a lot more cardio because I've had to cut more. That was another thing. Got up to the biggest I've ever been, around 290. So for all the doubters saying I can't get to super heavyweight, bro, don't try me. I'll go steal a belt. Like let them let me go up. I'll go take another one. Manu, when you win, just know you ain't safe. I, I'm looking at you, man. I'll go eat a couple large pizzas. I'll meet you there.
A couple large pizzas.
I'll go to the Chinese buffet down the street, bro. I'll make it work if it means another fight opportunity, man.
Amen to that. You know, I would love, and this is going to be your own decision, but I would be very very I'm going to say shocked. I would be very curious to see how you do up there. Not because I think you'll lose, but it'd be nice to see some fresh matchups, see some of the heavy hitters, the fan favorites in the super heavyweight division, because there are quite a few. I would love to see that, but you know that's for a later time, later interview.
Yeah.
We'll talk about that. But someone asked me before and after our last interview, what is training like for Power Slap? Because I think I've asked you about training, but I don't think I've ever asked you, and you'll have to give specifics. So I know that might, ruin your game plan and stuff. But how do you train Power Slap? How do you train for your fight?
For me, it really depends how I'm feeling at the time. I mean, for most of my general, it's very segmented from like the week before my event, a month out from my event. Am I on weight? How far am I cutting? So like for this event, it was a lot more cardio focused because I was dropping down from 290 to 265. So I'm walking around 265, 270 right now. I mean, it only took me like 2 weeks to lose the weight. It really wasn't that big of a deal. I thought it was going to be a lot harder than it was, honestly. So I accidentally cut a little. I got down to like 260 at one point. I was like, you know what? I think I've earned myself a little piece of cake. Like I was taking it a little too far. So
Right.
it, yeah, in that aspect, it incorporated a lot more cardio. But for me, I'm a big guy on do what works, do what you're comfortable with. I've been also eyeing down some powerlifting, maybe some strongman competition. So I've been hitting the weights really hard, but still staying agile, staying mobile, making sure I'm doing my rotational stuff, working a lot of core workouts, hitting the bob, hitting mitts, working on the accuracy game, isometrics for, that power hold. Like there's a lot of different things that you do that you can incorporate into it. For me, I always say just work out. As long as you're working out, putting on muscle, getting stronger, getting faster, you're progressing. The technique and stuff is really something I've already locked in. But as long as you're building, you could work on technique very quickly the week of, 2 weeks out. If you got a good coach, even a couple of tips could really change the game for you. But that time in between matches where you got nothing else going on, that's when you need to be putting on muscle, getting as strong as you can, as fast as you can, work on that accuracy, making sure you're hitting where you want to hit, making sure you're not going too deep, pulling back, making sure you're really centered on what you're doing and working on progressing that power and strength game. Because really, at the end of the day, if you hit a motherfucker hard enough, it don't matter what he do. Like it don't matter what he want to do at the end of the day. Plans change once you get punched in the mouth. Mike Tyson.
Right. Yeah,
So
true.
just yeah, so I've gotten my technique down so much that I've just really been hammering in that weight training and really getting as strong as I can.
Do you train because like UFC, a lot of the athletes they spar. For you, is there do you simulate the fight or no?
Nah,
Okay.
nah. I
No.
don't let no one touch my face like that. I'll be honest with you. I've been offered, especially after NOLA, when I was carrying all my belts around, because I had like how much 6 belts, 5 belts. I had a shit ton of belts. I'm carrying them all around. My arms are tired. People are coming up. Hey, can I stop you? No, no. You got 10K? I'll let you do it for 10K. That cash in hand. I take
Okay.
wire transfer, Cash App, Venmo, PayPal. But you best know you paying me if you try to slap me. These other guys might do it for free, but I don't play that shit. Nah,
Yeah.
nah.
I don't
You
blame
get
you.
yeah. A lot of guys agree that you get a limited number of hits to the head before it becomes a problem. I'm trying to maximize that shit because I want to still do boxing and other stuff afterwards. I'm trying to end fights quickly, as fast as I can. I'll enjoy a good war every once in a while. Like I'll love a rematch Dorian. See if it goes a couple rounds. Still going to try to knock him out. But after that, I'm trying to collect checks. I ain't gonna lie to you. I'm trying to get free money. That's one hit and done. That is the new motto. New me. I'm
Yeah.
telling you. After this new rule change, I, I'm getting knockout first round. I'm tired of y'all. You know what? Y'all want to change these rules? Y'all want to make me cut my fucking beard off? I gotta cut my beard off now? Nah, nah. They gonna wish they never made this rule. I promise you that. When Damien's 20-0, 15 knockouts in a row after the first round, they won't regret this shit.
I, you know what? You made a good point because I remember last time we talked. I think they were. I don't know if it was an effect then or they were talking about it, but I remember we talked about them implementing that rule. I always wondered. Do you know an official reason why?
Because people are bitching and moaning about accuracy. They're saying it's harder to judge whether it's a club or not based because you can't see where it's landing. Bro, if you can't tell where their hand is landing on someone's face in slow mo, high definition, maybe you just need glasses. Let's be real here. Maybe you just need LASIK surgery. I'm sorry, it's true. Like the beard, if you just base, it pisses me off. I'm
Yeah.
sorry. You can tell I'm getting upset. Like, bro, y'all really complain so much that they have to cut everyone's beard. Most of us are not. We're not going to look okay. Could you imagine Manu without his beard up there?
Yeah.
Dane without his beard? Beard that goes
Ron.
down to here, gone?
Yeah.
Like Ron. To be fair, Ron's been without a beard before. He looks crazy without a beard. He looks
Yeah.
so professional. I'll be honest. He looks like he'll sell you car insurance. Let's be real here. That
Yeah.
that man is it's hilarious. He goes from redneck to like straight white collar office job. It's hilarious.
Yeah. Freaking wrong. But it's so iconic though, fam. And like I get it. I honestly, and this is why I was actually about Darius, because I do think maybe it could be legitimately a reason of maybe certain guys they grow their hair out to try to hide their chin from being hit flush. I could get that reason, but I also think, and this is why I always say to you, I think they like you a lot because you get the knockouts. And I think maybe is another reason away from them to get more knockouts because every time you get a knockout for them on social media, especially YouTube, they could clip it, have it sent out immediately, and that's how you get more fans. So I think it's a mix of both. I think it's some people probably are complaining, hey, I can't. This guy's chin going down his feet. I can't see where his chin is. But I also think too, from a promotional standpoint, hey, the more knockouts we get,
Yeah.
the more fans we get. So, I'm not gonna keep it. I know you gotta go work out. Let me ask you two questions real quick. How does it go, Power Slap 19? If I'm not mistaken, your sixth title defense. How does it go for you?
Well, I've been pretty open about how this is about to go. April 19th, co-main event. It's going to end in round one, maybe round two if he gets Herzog as a ref, and it's like because we know Herzog, as long as you're breathing still, he'll let you continue fighting if you want to. So
Yeah.
if we get Herzog, might see a round two. But if I could place bets, I'd put an under on 3 rounds because it ain't getting past 3 rounds. Let's be real here. And that motherfucker going to sleep. He going to sleep. He get knocked the fuck out. I want someone in the crowd yelling "World Star" after the first hit round because I know he going to sleep, bro. That's how confident I am.
Then, man, that champion confidence, I don't want no part of it. But Darius, April 19th, you can have it. Before we go though, let's do this real quick. Because I've had you on a lot of times, but I know you're the champ and all, but we all got to make decisions and choices.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm gonna put you in the hot seat.
Ooh.
A hot seat is a segment where I give you two names and you just choose. And we're gonna be doing the hip hop edition. So I'm gonna give you two names. You don't have to explain the choice. You can just say something briefly if you like, or you can just say the choice. But I'm gonna give you two names, and you have to choose between the two of them. Are you ready?
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm gonna just start off the bat because there's the biggest feud: Drake or Kendrick Lamar.
That's still a question?
Yeah.
You still asking that?
Yeah.
Bruh, Drake could jump off a cliff for all we care. Drake done. Drake gone. Bro, I've been listening to Kendrick. Bro, I've been a Kendrick fan before people even knew who Kendrick was. Like I've always listened to Kendrick. Back in middle school. Fuck Drake with his little YOLO ass. He need to YOLO his ass off a fucking mountain, bro. I'm tired of him. I've been hating that nigga. I've been his hater.
Wow. Okay.
Bro, I've been a hater. If you are a Drake fan, I'm not saying you can't be my fan too, but I just lost a little more respect for you. That's all I'm gonna say. If you a Drake fan, I actually look at you a little sideways sometimes. I just want you to know that. Like if you fuck with Drake, I'm going to have. What? Really? Drake?
Yeah, man, I'll tell you this.
I'll die on this hill.
I've had conversations with people, and honestly, it's split. I get a lot of people who say Drake all day. Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah, a lot of people. I think because some people either judging based off the feud or they're judging based off the whole catalog of work. So some people, I see their point of Kendrick might have destroyed Drake, but Drake has a better career in terms of music than Kendrick. So I think it just depends. I have no skin.
He might have some more popular songs, but let's be real here. He was never the better rapper between the two. And I don't think it counts if you steal people's songs. Like, I don't think it doesn't really count as your music if it's someone else's music that you just put your name on top of. Like, that's not how being an artist works. But, what do I know? I ain't no rapper. Like, that ain't my world. I'm just a dude that listens to Kendrick. Just a dude with common sense. That's all I am.
Hey, I can see Drake already saying, "Yo, just stick to your sport, all right? Keep me out of it."
Okay. Fuck that guy.
Let's keep this going. I know you got to go. So let me throw you a couple more out there. All right, I'm gonna throw some new guys in there because I feel like people don't give them respect. So let's do XXS Tekashi, or let's do Lil Uzi Vert.
Bro, you making this easy. Fuck Lil Uzi. He can get Lil Uzi shot up, bro. I don't give a fuck. Fuck that guy. If he sees this, fuck you. You joining this little craze. I'm a little annoyed, bro. I'm a little
Eh,
tired of this shit.
you know what? All right, you know what? I was trying to be nice, but screw it. Why not? All right, let's keep it going. All right, let's throw a little Chicago in here. G Herbo or let's do G Herbo or A Boogie with the hoodie.
Ooh, see now that's a good one. Now we're cooking with
Yeah, see, never know where I'm coming. Pause. Pause.
pause, bro.
Yeah, pause. No Diddy.
Out of nowhere. You'll never see me. All right, Bill Cosby, calm down.
Hey, gotta give the people what they want. You know what I'm saying?
I don't think they wanted that one, brother.
Yeah, true.
Oh, but nah, for real, I gotta go with Boogie with a Hoodie. I've
Really?
I've been
Okay.
bumping. I still listen to a lot of his old stuff, so I'd have to go with him.
All right. So let's do Pop Smoke
Oh
or
God.
Chief Keef.
Oh God. You gonna make me choose between those two? You trying to get me
I'm
shot, bro?
biased though, so but
Mm. Damn, that's a hard one.
yeah, they both got. I
They got
love
they
both of
got
them.
some bangers. Like
Yeah.
I have to go with Chief Keef. I feel like there's just certain songs of his that I've listened to way more than others. Like there's certain albums that he got that I really fuck with.
I, I, I this for you. I'm not saying nothing. I love both of them guys. I love
Nah,
Chief
speak
Keef
your
and
truth,
Pop.
bro. Speak your truth. How you really
Man,
feel?
Pop Smoke and Chief. I couldn't even choose one. I have a place for both of them, but yeah, it's a tough one. But it depends. I feel like a lot of people who are on the West Coast, they don't really care about Pop Smoke like that. So,
Yeah, see,
it
I
just
grew up on the
depends.
West Coast. Yeah, so kind of makes sense.
But it's a hard choice.
Yeah,
All
that
right,
one that one was even. That
all
was
right. So
close.
let's do you know, let's keep this thing going. Let's do Young Thug.
Mm,
Hmm. Let's do Young Thug or XXX Tentacion.
damn. Mm. You know, people might not agree with me on this one, but this one is a personal. I'm gonna have to go with X, just because that's what I was listening to him as he was blowing up, and like he was one of the few artists that I like legit grew up with. Like when he started making music was when I started listening to that kind of music. So like I was listening to his shit before it really blew up or anything. Like I remember his old beef back in middle school and shit like that. Like yeah, so just sentimental reasons, I'd have to go with X on that one.
That's fair. That's fair. Let's do Kanye West or Jay Z.
Next, wait, fuck. I feel like, see, I was about to say whoever is the other guy, but I don't fuck with Jay Z. Is that bad to say? Can we say that in 2026?
Yeah, yeah. Hey, you champ. Nobody gonna tell you what to say. So
You know what? Just because Kanye at one point was a great artist, I'd have to say Kanye. Old, I like the old Kanye. We miss
okay,
old Kanye.
I can get with that. I get with that. All right, you know what? Let's do some. You West Coast. I'll give you some West Coast legend. Kendrick Lamar or Snoop Dogg.
Mm, damn, damn.
Yeah.
You know, what? I feel like Kendrick just because he was more my time period for music. Because Snoop Dogg
I could get.
kind of retired by the time I was like, all of the songs I listen to of his are kind of older. I have to like deep dive for some of his songs, but he still has a lot of bangers too. Like, I don't know. Kendrick is more recent memory. I feel like that's recency bias. I like his more recent songs. Yeah, I'll go with Kendrick on that one.
That's fair.
You can, yeah, I, bro, I've been fucking with Kendrick. That's what I'm saying.
I'm. You know what? Speaking of Kendrick, let's do another Kendrick. J. Cole or Kendrick?
Damn, you ain't gonna bring J. Cole into this,
Yeah,
bro. You gonna
I got him.
J. Cole? It don't matter, J. Cole. it don't. I admit it, J. Cole fanboy. You know how it is. That last album he just dropped,
Yeah,
teared up, crazy. God, that was heartfelt.
yeah.
J. Cole, yep.
J. Cole's. He don't get the. If he don't drop as often, so I feel like he's been a little. I'm gonna say forgotten, but I feel like he don't get the respect he's
Oh, for
earned.
sure.
But
Yeah, and then he joined like Dream World for a little while, and like a lot of their music just wasn't. He had a couple good, all right songs, but it wasn't the J. Cole we know and love. So I feel like that last album he dropped kind of brought him back for a little while, but he's always been like an underappreciated artist. Like him, Joey Badass is another one. Like I've always been a heavy Joey Badass fan, but
right.
those kind of guys don't really get the respect they deserve, honestly. But they have some my favorite fucking songs.
Oh,
Like Paper Trails
100%.
by Joey Badass. Oh my god, I still bump that shit like every week.
Yeah, Joey Badass another one. I haven't heard that name in a while, but
I actually
uh,
walked out to his song. Paper Trails by Joey Badass. I walked out to that song, I'm pretty
I
sure.
didn't even know that was honestly. I didn't even know that was him. I
Fair.
I don't listen to Joey like that. Like I've heard, I think maybe like 2 songs in the last 10 years from him. That, but that's also because I don't think he makes music for me. So
Yeah, it's a very specific type of music, but bro, if you fuck with that type of music and like his culture, like fire.
you know what? I think you appreciate this one, Mike. Joey Badass or Tyler the Creator.
Ooh, that one's hard because Tyler's like he's real creative with his music.
Yeah,
He has a
yeah.
lot of he has a, and that's actually the only concert I've been to is a Tyler the Creator concert.
Really?
Yeah, that's the only concert I've ever been to. My friend invited me to a Tyler the Creator concert that was playing at my college at the time. But damn, I feel like I'd have to go with Joey Badass because literally, I walked out to his music. I listen to his music all the fucking time. I fuck with Tyler the Creator, but I don't bump his songs consistently like I do Joey Badass music.
That's fair.
Because
That,
Joe,
that-
his music has a lot. Joey's got more of like a somber flow. Like he has that flow in all of his songs. That's like you could be playing the piano and he'll bust out a crazy ass fucking rhyme to go with it. Like that's the kind of rap music I fuck with.
that's fair. That's fair. All right, you know what? I got 2 more for you. And then we'll wrap this up. I got 2 more. So let's
Bet
do Lil Yachty or Gunna.
Gonna just because I hate Lil Yachty. He has
Do you?
I Spy and that's it. Fuck that guy.
All right, let me ask you because I'm not even gonna lie, bro. People think I be joking until they see him in person. I've gotten at the airport, Walmart, events. A lot of people think I look like Lil Yachty. Do you see it?
Damn, actually, now that I look at you, I see it.
This interview's
That's
over.
crazy. He said, nah, never mind. Delete. His whole video gone.
Yeah, bro. Screw this. I'm out. Nah, I'm kidding.
Nah, that's great. I never thought of. I knew you looked familiar, bro. That's
Man,
crazy.
that's crazy.
I'm sorry to disrespect you like that to your face, man.
Nah, I'm good. I've accepted it. It's been years going on. I ain't gonna lie. I'm not even gonna lie. The first day, let me see. The first week I moved to LA, I went to the Hollywood Walk of Fame walking. I had my sunglasses on, and a white family stopped me. Was like, "Lil Yachty, can I get a picture?" I'm like, I
Did you take the
guess.
picture?
Oh yeah,
That's great. I love that.
it's freaking crazy, bro. Almost every week, somebody say something to me. I'm like,
But do
damn,
you know how many
man.
times I've thought about that walking down Vegas? Like people don't, because sometimes like if one person takes a photo with you, other people will just ask for a photo for some reason. Like I'm curious how many people really understand what I do and like why these people are fans of me. Because I've definitely seen people like, oh, go take a photo with him. Like you don't know that's Damien Dibbell. Like go take a photo, and they're like, bro, I don't know this guy. I'm
Yeah,
like, bro, just conform. It's easier that way.
it
We all
is.
know.
Eventually, they'll find out anyway. So screw it. You
Yeah,
know,
yeah. They'll see the poster or something. They'll be fine.
especially in Vegas. 'Cause I'm sure when you get there, they're gonna know who you are by the pictures. All right, last one, last one, last one.
Last one.
These are the two names that always comes down to
Oh God,
Tupac or Notorious B.I.G.
you gonna make me say this in public, bro? You gonna make me say this in front of
I know
people?
my answer. I know my answer.
I already know my answer. I ain't even gotta think about it. That's what's even worse. Let me pretend to think about it. Let do a little fake moment over, just like shit. I don't know, man. I don't know which one could it
Let me.
be. Let me think. You know what? I think I'll say Tupac. I think I'll go with Tupac.
There it is, right there. No, we could just wrap it up right there. Call it a day.
Cut. That is done. No outro. The video ends right there.
You know what? You know what? Tupac, man, screw that,
What?
man.
What? What?
I love Tupac. I love Tupac. Tupac is
You,
the GOAT. I think,
I feel
yeah,
like you're about to say but though. I feel like there's a but at the end of that sentence.
I was going no, I was gonna say, but so
Yeah.
Tupac is the GOAT for me. But a lot of people think it's gonna be Biggie because he's from New York. But people forget Tupac was born in New York. So technically, I'm supporting New Yorkers in a sense. So I mean,
It
you know,
counts. It counts. Tupac is from everywhere. All right, he's a man of the people. All right.
that dude, man, I wish I could have a legacy like that. But Damien, I know you gotta hit the gym. You gotta get ready for this title defense. How can people find you? You've been on here, so I'm sure people can find you anyway. But just in case, because there's always people asking me questions. As you get ready for April 17th, 19th, Power Up 19th against Dorian the Destroyer, not Dorian, Darius the Destroyer. Holy crap. Tupac got me going crazy. Darius,
We'll get there.
yeah, we'll get there. You know what I'm saying? Darius the Destroyer, Power Stop 19th, April 19th, Las Vegas, Nevada. Goes down. Where can people find you? And if you're giving tickets, let people know because people will be asking about that too.
So you find me on the Bell SF on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, Twitter, freaking MySpace if they still got that. I changed my YouTube handle to the Bell Slaps. So if you want to check out my YouTube, I got like 3 videos, a couple shorts. Not much. I plan to add some more. I took a video of me shaving the beard off, so I plan to edit that and get that posted up soon. So it ain't consistent, but it's there. Check it out. Support your boy. And there will be tickets. I ain't selling them. I don't know where you could get them. Look it up. I'll be honest. Google that shit. Y'all all got fingers. Y'all got a phone. How are you watching this? Look it up. There
Exactly.
you go.
There you go. Like I said, April 19th, Las Vegas, Nevada. Damien makes his long-waited return against Darius the Destroyer. And it's going to be one hell of a title defense, one hell of a weekend with WrestleMania. Go support him. And if you're not going to be in Las Vegas, YouTube. Power Slap is very well established on YouTube. So go check him out. Go support the man, the myth, the champion himself, Damien, the Bell, and Anime Sucks. We're out of here.